Hi everybody, we're back. Hope you guys have had a nice lunch if you joined us this morning. So this morning we talked all about exhibitors, how to get the most out of exhibitors, and this afternoon we're talking about how to get the most out of Confex and EPS as an attendee. So what you can do at the show and prior to the show to make sure that you're maximising your time. And I'm joined by the wonderful Gina from Confex and Saskia from EPS because they know more than anybody about what's going on and what's going to be exciting at the show. So do you guys want to kick it off? We've just been talking about the app. There's some new technologies going on there. Do you want to start?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great app for each of the events. We have one for International Confex, which is International Confex 2025, and the Event Production Show 2025. They'll be on the App Store in about 2 weeks. And yeah, you can use the app to, when you first get onto it, to kind of showcase what your interests in suppliers and in attendees and also sessions, so you can figure out what you want to kind of really do at the show, and then that will also use AI to match you with exhibitors.
That's so clever. We were just saying earlier it's a little bit like Tinder. You're going to put in all of your interests, what you fancy doing at the show, and basically your special AI app is going to match you to things that you're interested in. And this is something that we've talked a lot about there. In order to get the best out of the show, you've got to do the preparation before. Like I know I talked about getting ROI and stuff, but it's about time investment as well. Like if you're attending the shows, then there's a lot of time invested, so it's worth spending time before going through the app, prioritizing who you want to speak to, like all of that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you can do is you can create a personalized list of exhibitors you want to see, and you can pre-book those meetings before you come to the event. And you can also kind of see all the conference programs and see what sessions you're interested in. And then you can also network with other attendees pre-event as well, including us.
Exciting.
Yeah, it also it helps you stay updated throughout the day. So if stuff's changing in the day or if there's a session coming on, it will notify you. So it's good to have it, and also mainly to pre-book with exhibitors and meet other attendees, because you can see all the names of the different attendees on there, which is helpful.
Yeah, that's interesting actually, like having the opportunity to kind of virtually network beforehand with attendees, because it's not just exhibitors that you're going to want to see.
Yeah, and we also have an interactive floor plan, so if you're at the start of the event, you can actually set, you want to come and see Selling Savvy, and it'll be able to provide you almost like a Google Maps, where you'll be able to be navigated through the show floor. So you can go to either any of the theatres, or you can come and see certain exhibitors that you've pre-booked your meetings with.
That's so helpful, because it can get a little bit confusing sometimes, can't it? Just trying to work out the different colours of the floor, like whereabouts you are. It's a good idea. Amazing. So the app sounds great. Anything else in the app that you feel like should be made use of? So it comes out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you can also, stay updated, and you can book in your theatres. So if you've got we've got like 9 theatres at Confex, so there's a lot of conference program to kind of sort through. So once you kind of know what your sessions you're really interested in, you can make sure that none of them are double booking yourself.
Amazing.
And that'll all kind of collate within the app. So if you have one-to-one meetings with an exhibitor, then you can also then have that in with your conference sessions, so then you can see the full day plan, so you're not double booking yourself.
Oh, giving yourself a timetable, I love it. Yeah. That's what you need, structure it all. And what sort of talks have you got going on? Because you've got quite a lot more than usual, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah. So do you want to go through yours first?
Gina's got, Confex have got about 1 million, but they've got about 9, but EPS have only got 3. We've got the main stage, the Knowledge Hub, and the Futures stage. The Knowledge Hub is the main educational one. We've got about 5 talks a day on each, obviously a little bit less than Gina's one, but still really beneficial. The main stage will be, hopefully, we haven't fully finished the programme yet, but it will be mainly festival organisers and sporting talks and stuff like that. And then the Knowledge Hub will be more of educational and how to learn what to do at certain events and stuff like that. And then the Future stage is like a lot of our partners and like bringing a bit of different side of like content and stuff, which will be quite cool.
That sounds really exciting.
Yeah, we've got 2 fully done, but main stage is nearly signed off.
Nearly done.
Yeah, within 2 weeks hopefully.
What sort of things will you be talking about on the Futures stage?
So Futures stage is like a lot of our partners will be talking on that, talking about like mental health.
Great.
There's quite a few talks on mental health. Also within like the music industry and like festivals within mental health, which actually will be good. We've got 2 good talks on that. And it's just like a bit of a different side to, so all of our partners can have a different kind of input. It's a bit different this year, because last year we planned it separately, but now we're doing it so that all the partners can come together and all be working, and they're bringing in speakers and stuff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And am I right in saying there's a bit of a festival link going on here?
Yes, there is. Well, EPS is sports, music and culture, but linked to festivals. But we've also got a feature area at EPS called EPS Fest, which is like a little festival area that we're doing, which will have live music in as well. So it is festival themed, but we're trying to bring in more of like a sports and culture side this year, so it's not just festivals. But yeah.
Great, excellent. Sounds exciting. Sounds like there's some really valuable content, but also a bit of a chance to let your hair down as well.
Yeah, well,
that's what we all need. What about Confex? Tell us about the thousands of things that's going on.
Millions.
Yeah, so we've got 9 theatres full of content. We've got the Keynote Theatre in partnership with the Power of Events. We have the Event Tech Theatre, Associations and Corporate Theatre. So for association event planners and corporate event planners, we have a day each dedicated content for them.
Wow, that's great.
We have an Exhibition Pavilion Theatre, so for the exhibition event professionals. We have a Let's Do London Theatre in collaboration with Higher Space. We have a Marketing and Experiential Theatre, bringing kind of more about kind of the agency side and also kind of marketing pre, post and during events and event marketing. We have an M.I.E. Pavilion, so the M.I.E., the Association for Meetings Professionals. They'll be doing their content there. We have a People and Culture Theatre, which is done with Lime Venue Portfolio and Diversity Alliance, and they're working on a really, really cool program over the 2 days, which they're really exciting kind of work that they're doing to really make sure that the industry is staying at the forefront of making sure that the industry is diverse and also kind of accessible. We also have, and our final theatre is the Sustainability Theatre with EMC3.
Yeah.
That doesn't the right order.
You're always like double checking. And they've got an agency called From Now that they have done all of the content for. So things like green tech. A lot of the theatres are kind of specific for each industry, because obviously Confex covers such a wide range of event professionals in the B2B space and the B2C space. It's really exciting what we've got coming up. We've got, I think we've got Amex's event trends report coming out. We've got the sustainability report from CN. We've got the 30 and 30s going ahead at the Keynote Theatre. Yeah, we've got a lot of content coming up, which we're really excited for.
That's amazing. A
huge
amount.
We had over 350 people enter for the call for papers.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So how many speakers have you got overall? Do you know now?
Not yet. We're still sourcing everything.
TBC.
Yeah, we're hoping to have the programme out by the 13th of January.
Oh, amazing.
Also
so not long.
Literally.
Next week, look out for the programme. So there's a huge amount. So managing your diary is going to be the key to maximising getting the most out of both of the shows, and kind of going between shows as well and seeing what both of their programmes are and seeing what is going to be of most interest to you, and maybe put some wildcards in there that you think you might not know about, not know anything about, and seeing if you can slot that in there too. Amazing, exciting. And talk to me a little bit about networking. Is there opportunity to kind of go to groups and see if you can speak to people that you might not have met before?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a BEAM, which is an association that we're a big partner with. This is our second year doing the BEAM Buddy System. So if you come into the event at stand G4C and G6C, don't worry, we will put some stuff out on socials about where exactly that is, or you can use the interactive map on the app. And they'll be able to basically pair newbies with some of their association members who have been to the event before, and be able to provide anybody that's never been before with an opportunity to have a cup of tea, settle yourself in, and get the vibe for the show. And then they can also be like, right, well, what are you interested in? And then recommend exhibitors to see if they've never been before, or content that they're really interested in that they've not had a chance to kind of go to before.
It's quite daunting when you get to an exhibition, especially if you're a graduate or new in the industry and you're being sent to sort of find some new suppliers or whatever, and it's so massive. And also I think the event industry, like, everybody knows each other, so if you're not in that yet, then it's a bit like, ooh, a bit cliquey.
And if not,
that's such a good idea.
Come and find us, and I mean, we will always help. We will always help. Any member of the M.I.C.E team will always be there to kind of provide you with any answers or any questions that you might have.
That's good too, because if you see other attendees, you could maybe meet with them there, and then you don't feel as worried to be by yourself.
Yeah, or send us a message. We'll always help.
And also, if you book a few appointments and speakers and things, then at least you're kind of moving to things, so you don't feel like you just stood there like, ooh, what shall I do? Yeah. But remember these faces and find them, and mine if you want to say hello. I'm not sure how much I could help you on the day, but...
but you've got a great mentoring session.
Yeah, we have got mentoring sessions actually. So we're doing sales mentoring for people on our stand. So they can come every half an hour. You can book on using the link that we're going to send out. Totally free. Just come to us with sales problems, sales issues, and we will attempt to help you solve them. If it's salesy, I promise to solve them. If it's anything else, I can't promise anything. So yeah, we're doing that on our stand, which will be good fun. What about you?
So we've got networking drinks with M.I.C.E, which is the Network of Women Exhibitions. That's on day one at EPS, time TBC. But that's a really good way, and everyone's very friendly in the M.I.C.E community, and they can welcome anyone in. Obviously, that's more for ladies, but I think from what I've heard from Kat, the owner, they're going to start
branching out.
Yes, and not just having women, which will be good.
That sounds good.
No, but it's a good place to go.
What are they going to call it though? Because now he's such a cool name.
I know,
they can't not call it that.
They might. I don't actually know, but I think they're trying to not just have women in it, which
is a good idea. Yeah,
women,
definitely.
Women all together is great, but I think that'll be good. And then we mainly just have the EPS Fest area, which is a good place to network with people. We were thinking we might do something there, not 100% confirmed yet. We've also got the Access 30 Under 30, which will be on the main stage, which is a ceremony for anyone in the live events industry. Yeah, so basically there's like 30 people that get picked under the age of 30, and they...
still time to enter?
Huh?
Still
time to enter. And they win an award just for being like noticed in the live events industry, and amazing. We put that ceremony on day 2 on our main stage. But you can obviously come along and watch that, and also it's a good place to network with people and get to know people. But it's
that's
a really cool
lovely.
Thing.
Yeah.
They do the same for Exhibition News.
Yeah, so we've got one for Exhibition News 30 Under 30. This, I think, it'll be our 8th year. It's still open. And we also have the Conference News 30 Under 30, which will be on day 1. Both highly contested, both very big.
Still open for all of them though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're under 30 in the events industry, make sure you kind of get involved. And
or nominate anyone that you think deserves, because some people get a bit scared to nominate themselves.
Oh yeah, definitely. Anyone you can think of, nominate them. It's such a big kudos at the beginning, well, not beginning of your, well, it is the beginning of your career really, because I'm much older than that. But yeah, it's amazing, and I think anybody you think of, definitely nominate them.
Nice.
So you can still nominate at the moment for all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, great. That's really good.
All still open.
Yeah, amazing. Any other networking?
Yeah, we've got the VIP breakfast. So certain members of the Confex community are VIPs for kind of high-level event producers and event managers of corporates or of associations or event exhibitions or agencies, and they can come along in the breakfast on day 1 with Thorns, who's our sponsor, and come and like meet and greet other VIPs in terms of like very kind of highly kind of important people that are in the industry that are doing really good work. And then there's also we have a central networking bar with White Space, and they are one of our main kind of supporters and partners, and to provide like a big kind of meeting area, and they're a great kind of stand builder to kind of get to know if you're in the industry and you do work in exhibitions, or if you do work as an agency for corporates. So yeah,
that's really great. That branch is quite new, did you say?
Yes. Yeah. We will kind of be fleshing out the whole VIP experience in the next couple of weeks. We're just kind of figuring out what we want to do, and I think last year there was a boat ride to the event.
Yes,
Amazing.
I think that was 2 years ago.
Yeah. So we've got some
cool.
ideas in our hats.
And if
in terms
people
of
are
stuff to
interested in
do.
becoming a VIP attendee, how does that work?
So the process for getting registered for the event is through our forms on our website, and from there, if you just enter in your information, obviously what's on your LinkedIn or whatever your job title and your company is, then from there we will have, if you've been before, you'll probably be automatically approved. But anybody new to the event, we do go through a manual approval process for attending Confex and EPS, so that we can make sure that it's the right people meeting the right people. So from that, then we can make sure that they're a VIP from that information on the form when
that's
they register.
picked by us though, but it will mainly be people that are higher up or more senior within the events industry on both different areas.
Yeah, fantastic.
Good to register anyway.
Definitely. Any other networking? That's it holistically for everything. Loads of opportunities there to meet people. We were talking about as well earlier, weren't we, about having the right people in front of the right people and how sometimes there can be a mismatch and it's a little bit awkward. So we were kind of talking about the importance of saying no sometimes, and having the confidence when you're an attendee to be able to say, actually, I'm not your perfect buyer and that's okay, and let's kind of move away, because you have, it's just 2 days, you don't have much time, there's so much going on and you want to maximise it. So make sure, I talked to my session this morning about spending time with the people who matter and kind of politely saying no to the people who don't. People who you're talking with, the exhibitors, will be really happy that if you say that, they'll be more than happy to kind of move away and spend time with the people that might be more relevant to them as well. So kindly saying no to people if it's not relevant.
They won't be offended.
No.
Also, you don't want to waste if you're there for like a day and you're only there for a day and you don't necessarily come to the event much, you don't want to waste your time talking to people that aren't relevant, just to be polite and not be like, oh, sorry. But they'll appreciate that anyway.
I agree.
And I think also like that there will be kind of instances where there will be other fringe events that happen that we will be probably putting on the app, and we'll probably also have another section on the conference program where we can have like any things that are happening on exhibitor stands, like obviously like your mentoring sessions that you can then book onto, and that'll help you be able to kind of choose the right exhibitors if they're like attraction, the things that they've got going on their stand matches up to what you're really interested in. So then you can use that to kind of help you kind of plan your day as well. So then you're not kind of wasting time kind of going through a few different other exhibitors and stuff like that. You can kind of just tick them off your list and figure out who you get the right vibe with, and then you can go from there and what your kind of what your future plans are for 2025.
Amazing. Yeah, I really like that. And that's quite a relatively new section, isn't it? Where exhibitors who are doing things that are a bit different away from the kind of normal timetable can put the information on there. And that's also what I was saying earlier, like if you do have anything that you are doing, drinks receptions, events on your stand, tell these guys because they will promote it. Because sometimes you feel a bit like you don't want to like harass you because you're so busy, but also it's worth it. Just harass them, they'll be fine.
Please don't deal with it.
They want to know. They do want to know.
Makes our lives easier.
At least you know what's going on. Okay, fantastic. So we've got a lot of speakers, a big education sessions across. We've got lots of great networking. So yes, anything else that we've missed?
No, I think making sure that you plan your day ahead of time. You can register on the day if you decide that you're free. You can totally rock up on the day.
Do you have a lot of people do that?
Some people register on day, like just come to day 2 and register literally in the morning. And the same with day 1. But we've also got ways you can plan to get there, which is really helpful if you're coming from afar or near. We've got a partner called U-Smart Thing, and on the registration, once you register, if you just put in your postcode, it will like give you the most efficient way to travel to Excel.
Oh, that's great.
And we've also got Crew Fair, who are our accommodation partner, and they will find you hotels near for cheaper rates if you are staying over.
That's good.
So that's once you get the email saying you're approved. They'll be on there, which is a good way to especially if you're coming from a bit further and you don't really know. It just tells you straight away with your postcode to the exact place of EPS.
Yeah.
It's good, yeah.
And we'll be sending out like personalised travel plans so that like even if you don't have time and you've kind of forgot, we will send you a personalised travel plan so you can like just click the link and it'll do it for you.
That's so clever. How does that work?
I know that
just know your
for a while and they're really good.
Yeah, they're brilliant.
That's a good
it's
idea.
like carbon effective routes. But
Yeah.
And it tells you how much carbon you're using each route, obviously if you're walking there.
Yeah.
But not many people walk there, but
Yeah. It depends where they are.
Yeah, please don't walk from somewhere like that. So, just to get there.
And a question I did have is a little bit more about kind of follow-up post. Is there a way that you would suggest your attendees manage that follow-up, and is that done like through the app? Can they put in any conversations they have? Can they plug that into the app? Do they just write it on a notebook? How do you guys suggest doing it?
Yeah, you can definitely use the app, and I think what I love doing is starting a conversation with someone you've met and then following that through into LinkedIn. And then I personally screenshot the LinkedIn and then I follow up with the LinkedIn photos afterwards. So I know who I've connected with at the event. And then you can kind of take it from there.
I've been to events where I've connected with people on LinkedIn, and then the next day, and after a little bit of a headache, I'm like, oh, who the hell was that? It's awful. Screenshotting is a great tip.
So, and then also you can, things like emails and stuff like that. If you add that information into the app, you can directly send that off to someone. I personally use a digital like business card, so that's like a little QR code that takes you through to a LinkedIn bio. That's always really helpful. And also when we send out the Reg approved email, it comes with an Ingo link, so that Ingo social shares into your LinkedIn. So you tell your your personal network on LinkedIn about you attending, and if you tag us then in the comments or in the post, then we can follow up and we reshare it,
and then people
so people can know that you're there.
Know you're going, and that's how you can meet people there. And then
that's good.
So hopefully most people do promote that. It's literally you just click a button and it says I'm attending EPS or Confex, and then
perfect.
It's your photo and name.
And are you preferring people to tag you, or you've got hashtags, haven't you, as well going
Do
on?
Hashtags.
Yeah.
I don't mind either, to be honest. When near the time of the show, I always try and repost every single post that comes out. Obviously, the day of and the day after is like
it's a bit chaos,
which is fine. But I think that's the best way to do it. I think best to tag us.
So we definitely
great.
Do it.
And we do follow our hashtags, which is EPS 2025 and Confex 2025, or see you at Confex. And those ones are the ones that are most followed, so that you can keep up to date with our
your news.
Exactly.
What's going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Well, we're going to have a 5-minute break now, and then we're going to be joined by Helen Moon from Eventwell, and she's going to talk about the opportunities that they're bringing to the shows, and also the different things that they're doing at the show as well. So we will see you very shortly on this same link. Thank you. We are live again now, and I'll introduce you again to Helen. Lovely to see you. How are you? How is everything?
Good. Nice Christmas and New Year break. So raring to go.
Yes, I know, it does feel like that. Everybody's like itching to be excited, and I can't believe the show's next month now. It's gone quickly.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's lovely to have
be here
you
before
on.
we know it.
And I'm excited to hear about how your what your plans are for the show. You've worked with Confex and EPS for a while now. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the partnership, how it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working with M.I.C.E for the shows for the last 3 years. So I think this is our 1, 2, 3. I think this might be our 4th show of putting the quiet room and having the quiet room and the wellbeing area in place. So we're going to be doing very, very similar again this year in terms of the offering, to ensure that we've got that continuity that people have got used to over the past few years. So ensuring that we've got that space available for people who need it, who need to take some time out for whatever that need might be, whether it's a neurodivergent need or whether it's people just needing a 10-minute brain break, needing to refresh, anybody that has any kind of physical or mental needs in terms of being able to attend the show, but having somewhere that you can go to that's safe and secure. So we're happy to be there again.
Amazing. And where is it in the show? Is it quite central, or do you always have the same place? How does it work?
We're pretty much in the same place that we normally are. So S5 lower organiser's office in around that location. So we'll have the quiet room within the organiser's office itself, and that's a space where we'll have it set up with all sensory lighting. There'll be nice comfortable seating in there. Bean bags, there'll be a little gaming zone where people can colour, they can play chess, elements like that. So different kind of elements to the room that will offer different sensory accommodations and sensory support. So we'll have weighted blankets and noise cancelling and fidgets and some essential oils. So in terms of the space, it will offer something basically that everyone they can hear, they can smell, they can see, they can touch, they can feel. So it's all about sensory decompression. And very fast, like 10-15 minutes decompression. So not a space that you would need to sit in for a long time to feel the benefits, but just 10-15 minutes in the space would offer a quick decompression. You would notice a difference from using it. And then outside of that space, we'll have a little kind of wellbeing bar area. Well, we'll have some decaf teas and coffees and some wellbeing teas. You can get some fresh water, some fresh fruit, and we'll have some comfortable seating out there. And we'll also be doing some breath work and some progressive muscle relaxation sessions over the 2 days as well. So people can drop into those sessions and come in again in terms of that regulation, that decompression, and take advantage of something that's aimed to enhance your experience of the show.
That's amazing. I think it's incredible that something like this is available, because the show is so sensory, isn't it? And it's overload of colours, noise, everything, and also people. Like, if you're not really used to being around that many people and having that many conversations, it's exhausting. So
we know that the three biggest triggers for overwhelm and sensory overwhelm events are crowds. It's number one. So it's the people first, then it's noise, and then it's actually navigating the event and finding your way around. The show is big. It's a big event, and that can pose some problems for some people in terms of navigating it, trying to find the elements of the show and the features of the show that people want to take advantage of in terms of their visit. So we're there to kind of help people manage that overwhelm. And our best advice really is plan a visit to the sensory space and the wellbeing area. Plan that into your day, so you're taking regular breaks throughout your visit. As I said, all you need is 10-15 minutes in the sensory space, in the sensory room. It's not just for people that are neurodivergent. We're all about universal design at Eventwell. So we know that the spaces that we set up are a massive benefit to anybody that is neurodivergent, but are also a huge benefit to other people, because we all benefit from regulation and decompression from time to time, especially when, like you say, Kate, you're in those overstimulating event environments that can, lead to fatigue, tiredness after you've left the event. So our space will be there to kind of help in terms of that post-event fatigue that you'll feel as well. So you'll probably find that by utilising the space, taking advantage of taking a break and using it, you'll probably sleep a little bit better that evening. Sleeping better will help you to be able to process the meetings and the conversations and the content that you've heard in terms of the keynotes and the educationals that are happening. So taking those regular breaks and utilising that space will help you to absorb that information, to kind of prioritise it into memory, which happens when we sleep, will help you to process the day, and will also help you to engage better with the event. So be able to have better conversations, be more productive, more creative, more engaging. So it will enhance your experience overall.
That's so interesting, actually, that you mentioned that, because in my session this morning, I went through some of your top tips that you gave me a few years ago. And one of them is that people should be having 5-minute break every hour, which for me, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for that. But hearing what you say, that you're making the rest of the hour much more productive, so you have to probably be quite disciplined at that.
Yes, so that's what we call the Pomodoro technique. So yes, as you're working throughout your day, you are supposed to factor in like mini breaks, just to give your brain a break. Your brain can only absorb so much information, so you've probably got a working memory bank of about 25 minutes. So that's why if you have longer sessions, speakers should be quite clever in terms of how they give and share information. So repeating key messages at least 3 times throughout, so it will help the audience to remember certain things, but the audience as well being quite clever, and attendees, in terms of making sure that you do take regular breaks, just so that your brain can just have a little bit of respite, and it can kind of process the information that is taken on board, so that you can take on more information. There's only so much you can store in your short-term memory before sleep helps you to process it from the day and those interactions and conversations you've had. So give your grey matter the best possible chance you possibly can, and it will enhance that recall of information, so that you can take it away. You can be pragmatic with it. You can go and get involved in all of those things that you want to do, and start doing all of the things that you want to do with the information and the knowledge that you pick up at the event. So it's a win-win, really.
It is a win-win, and we need to remember it, because I think it's very easy to get caught up in everything, and then suddenly everyone knows whether you party on night 1 or not. By day 2, everyone's exhausted and sick of having like polite conversation. So to give yourself those regular breaks, like you say, reset your brain, have a good night's sleep. It's important to actually practice it rather than just talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of science and biology and psychology behind everything we do at Eventwell, and there's a lot of psychology and science behind the reason why you would put rooms like ours and spaces like ours into events that are properly resourced and kitted out rooms, not just a room with some bean bags and lights. You'll see the room that's available at Confex is a properly resourced and kitted out, and there's a scientific reason for everything that is in that room in terms of what it's doing to your brain from a decompression perspective. So we love what we do, and we love kind of seeing the change of someone coming in looking quite tired, coming into the room, and then leaving with just instantly relaxed, uncreased faces, maybe a little smile as you're leaving. So it's nice. It's definitely worth a visit.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I'm definitely going to visit. So I guess you'd recommend for people to come and find the space first straight away, so that they know where you are, where you're based, and then plan it into your day as well. And then if you really suddenly feel overwhelmed and need it, you know exactly where to go.
Yes, exactly. So S5 lower is the room that we'll be in. You can also, if you get stuck at all, you can call the organiser's office. Or you can send an email if you want to get in touch with Eventwell. The email address is team@eventwell.org if you want any information pre-event, pre-show, and then we can assist and guide you with that as well. So don't hesitate to reach out to us or message us, and we're there to help anybody who needs it, really.
Thank you, Helen. And can I ask you, aside from your from this area, what have you got any good tips for people attending the show? Any things that they need to consider? I know we talked about the 5-minute break every hour. Anything hot tips off the press from you?
Hot tips is make sure you stay hydrated is probably the biggest one. Event venues can be very dehydrating, especially when you're inside for long periods of time. Lighting, so bottle of water. There are water refill points all around Excel, so you've no excuse. Make sure you're sustainable. There's lots of Costa points and the restaurant points where you can buy a bottle of water if you need to get some water, but make sure you bring that refillable to ensure you're being sustainable. There's no problem at all. You filling up that water, and as well you can visit the Wellbeing Bar. I mean, we might just have some water that's nicely infused with some lemons and limes and stuff like that as well, so you can come and see us there. Snacking, and eating, so make sure you don't leave it longer than 4 hours to eat something. And when you're attending events, make sure you've got nice protein in there as well, as not just carbohydrates. Don't be relying on sugary kind of snacks to get you through. Sugary snacks are not good for consistent blood sugar levels, which can end up with highs and then big crashes, which can actually make you more tired. So make sure if you're not someone for eating big meals, and a nice little pack of nuts, healthy nuts or something like that in your bag can get you through. So make sure that you're eating consistently for those blood sugar levels. And then, the evening that you get home after the show, plan a really nice sleep hygiene, so a relaxation, nice decompression and relaxing kind of period before you go to bed. So you have a nice kind of chill down hour before you go to bed. Don't drink any coffee after 3 o'clock if you can possibly do it. So that makes sure that you get a nice, good night's sleep that night, as I was saying before, so that you can really kind of take advantage of the knowledge and the education, the people that you've met, the conversations that you've had, to give your brain the best possible chance to kind of process all that information so that you can use that moving forward. But yeah, so stay dehydrated, lots of water. Make sure you're not eating, you're leaving it longer than 4 hours to eat food, and make sure that's nice and balanced carbohydrates and proteins. Proteins are the most important thing when you're attending events. And then a nice little sleep hygiene, relaxation, chill out, to get yourself ready to go to bed, for a good night's sleep.
That's fantastic, thank you. I always find in the middle of a show I have such a headache from like talking and chatting and smiling and having a lovely time, and I never realise that it's often hunger. Then once I've had my lunch, I feel a lot better. It must be a blood sugar thing.
Yes, yeah, it can be a combination of things. So some people can mistake. So headaches can be either from dehydration, so you've not drank enough water. So make sure if you know that you've drank enough water, then the next thing is hunger. Some people mistake hunger and thirst, and don't really know the difference between the two. If it's been longer than 4 hours since you've had something to eat, then definitely get something to eat. The lights also as well, in terms of in event venues, can give people headaches. So I'm neurodivergent, I have autism and ADHD, so I'm actually quite sensitive to lights, and it was only after my diagnosis that I realised that my mid-afternoon headache was because of the lights. So if that's you, if you get a mid-afternoon kind of headache, come to the quiet room, basically, or go and take a walk outside and go and get some fresh air. So go and take some breaks, so you get yourself out of the false lighting and get yourself out into some natural daylight. Or if you have got a headache, then I advise kind of just come and spend some time in the quiet room where we've got the darker lights in there and the sensory lights. It will help with that, and it will make a difference. So those are big tips there.
Amazing, thank you, Helen. Well, it's lovely to see you, and if you're watching, please go and see Helen at the show, and have a look at the space, and remember to look after yourself because it can be exhausting. So yeah, thank you so much, Helen. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. Take care. See you soon.
Hello, so that was fantastic to speak to Helen from Eventwell. We've worked with her for a long time, many years, and she's always got really valuable, tangible ideas and things that people can do. So make sure you are looking after yourself. So I've just got a couple of things to wrap up. Last few top tips for you following our conversations with Gina and Saskia earlier, and with Helen as well. And that is, firstly, prepare early. You can't prepare too early, to be honest. Make sure that you are looking at the app, downloading the app when it's available in 2 weeks' time. Make sure you're looking at everybody that you want to speak to. You are using the app as much as you can to look at education sessions, networking, find out which exhibitors, prioritise those exhibitors that you want to speak to, and also looking at all the attendees that are going. Post it all over your social medias, all over your LinkedIn, tag M.I.C.E and EPS because, and even Junior and Saskia, because they will support with that kind of promotion of you being there. Don't be afraid to say no, prioritise your time and don't worry about saying no to people if you feel like you're wasting their time or they're wasting yours. Obviously be polite with it. Don't want to start loads of fights at the show, but yes, be polite and prioritise your time. And lastly, prioritise your time. Make sure that within that time you are giving yourself breaks, brain breaks, going to see Helen's amazing space. And making sure that you have a bit of time to decompress. I really struggle to decompress because I'm a bit of a workaholic, but I do find, and I have to admit to myself, that once I've had a break, like over Christmas, I come back better. So I feel like we all know it, but sometimes it's hard to actually do it. So make sure you're looking after yourselves as well. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this session and this morning's session. It's been fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you for chatting in the comments as well. These videos go up online if you want to re-watch them, and they're also being posted to LinkedIn. Selling Savvy is still taking over the Mash Media social media today up until 5 o'clock. So go and see all the sales top tips that we've put on there throughout the day. And we've got a couple of hours more of boycotting their social media until we give it back to them. Thank you so much. If you want to come to our mentoring events, our mentoring sessions on the day, we'll be sending the link out and you can book on. They'll be on our stand. So thank you so much and enjoy the show and hopefully see you there.